Hey, what's going on guys? StarGuy34 back with another video, and in today's video we are going to see the alternative future of the world part 2. Let's go. That was terrible. If you're going to enjoy this video, smash that like button and also subscribe. Try and get 10 subscribers by the end of September, you know the drill. Let's dive into it. So in the last episode we saw Germany win World War One and Russia get split in half. And we also see Japan gain some land off China. So now we're gonna just jump right into it, and we're going to go to Russia over here. Now Russia is in a very unstable state right now. Unstable state. Yeah. And with a child emperor on the throne, there are a lot of people vying for power, and multiple people are going to take advantage of this. Specifically, the Central Asian region breaking apart from the Russian Empire. Now the Russian Empire immediately begins to send its troops down here in order to basically put down the rebellion in the only valuable area they have left. I mean, they've got all this up here, but down here is the only population that they really rule over now that Eastern Europe's gone. So let's dive. We see Russian troops immediately push back the revolt as they push towards the center in an attempt to cut the two countries in two. However, we do see gains in the east, with Russia being completely cut off from the Caspian Sea. They continue the offensive until they are stopped, as another contender joins the war. That's right, it's the USSR. They are back, and they are not going to accept a peace treaty now. They're just going to go full on, as they put all their troops into the central border of Russia. Not going up here because that's all ice. Not going down here because of the rebels. With the advance of the USSR troops, Russia has to pull out troops from the rebellion in order to counteract against the USSR. With this, a mass pushback begins, with the rebels gaining a lot. See them even signing a pact with the USSR saying that they won't attack each other. And yeah, the Russian Empire is gone at this point. It's over. Basically, another competitor joins the war, that being Mongolia. And they really don't have a point to join this war. They only entered the country for the land. But as all the Russian Empire's army are over here, they basically have no one to stop them. So now Russia fighting a war on three fronts basically goes into collapse as the Second Civil War pretty much begins. Yeah, however, none of the internal Russian government are actually revolting against the Tsar, as the Russian Empire loses more and more ground to all three powers. Well, not really powers. The USSR is the only power here. Yeah, so the Central Asian region pretty much gains everything that they want and more. They basically, yeah, they move up, and that's pretty much all they want. They've taken over all of their land that they wanted, so now they basically let the USSR do what they want to do. And with this, they immediately push forward and begin to enter the core Russian territory, as they don't want to go all the way over here, as there's no point, you know. So they focus more on up north, quickly capturing this peninsula, which basically has 0 inhabitants. And yeah, that's pretty much it from where they're willing to go, as they are still having trouble, especially in Estonia, Ukraine, and possibly Finland, you know. So with Mongolian troops slowly entering into the country, the Russian Empire actually makes a deal with all of these, saying like, stop invading and we'll give you more land than you deserve. And they surprisingly agree to it, except from this guy, but they already gained everything they want, so that is pretty much it. So the USSR doesn't accept it at first, but after a small rebellion in Estonia, they have to accept. However, let's just take a bit more of the north. Yeah, we'll accept now. And so looking at this peace treaty, we can safely say that the Russian Empire is not the Russian Empire anymore. They've lost all their empire lands. I don't know how to put that, But yeah, the Central Asian Union basically gets independence and gets all of their lands in Kazakhstan, modern day. And the USSR pretty much splits Russia in the middle, modern day Russia in the middle. And a kind of neutral border is set on the Russian Empire. Basically, they don't want military conflict between them. What am I saying? However, a certain Stalin is going to be getting into power, so that might change things. Mongolia also gains a bit of land, however, the Russian Empire says that they will gain it back. However, the Russian Tsar is not the Tsar anymore, as they have been deposed, and now the Russian Empire has been dissolved. Meaning that this is not Russia anymore. This is Siberia. The country of Siberia has been founded. So now we take a look at Europe, or more specifically down south here in Egypt, and down here in Djibouti and Yemen. So you see, the Ottoman Empire has been gaining on the rise in recent years. They've taken Greece, and now they want Egypt. And Libya eventually, but they don't want that yet. So the Ottoman Empire sends demands to the British saying, hey, give us Egypt and we won't declare war. And of course, the big brains at Britain says no, and that basically leads to the Ottoman Empire declaring war on the British. Now, initially, this doesn't seem that even for the Ottoman Empire now, does it? I mean, they've got a solid amount of territory here in the Middle East. However, on the grand scale of things, they're not going to win. That is, except for the fact that the Ottoman Empire is allied with Germany, as you'll see with the alliance map. If you do take a look at this alliance map, you can see that the Ottoman Empire is allied with Germany. So, yeah, I would say that's a bit more even, wouldn't you say? However, they're not really down here in America. Oh wait, Austria-Hungary is joining the war, which leads to Serbia joining the war, which leads to Bulgaria joining the war, and Romania is soon to follow. So yeah, this is definitely even, sort of land-wise. However, power-wise, I'll definitely give it to the red team. So let's see if they can actually win this war, which is essentially World War III at this point, if you look at all this. So immediately we see Ottoman troops stationed over here entering to this peninsula, as they quickly capture it and move on to Cairo. However, British forces are already there and are quickly stopping it. You also see an Ottoman invasion of Kuwait quickly taking the country, or the colony, as well as a small invasion into an invasion into Djibouti. Now we see a small invasion into Djibouti, quickly taking over the more muscular parts of the country. We also see a small invasion into Djibouti, that's Eritrea, with the two colonies of the Ottoman Empire quickly fall. As well as this, we see a small invasion into Tanzania. However, this doesn't go so well, as they're very resilient. However, with countries entering both sides, who knows where that will lead them. We also see the capture of the panhandle of Namibia, and a small invasion into the south of the country. We see clashes between Nigeria and Cameroon, as Nigeria has most successes in the south, while Cameroon has a good amount of success in the north. However, shortly after this, Iran joins the war and quickly captures the north of Yemen, the north of the UAE and Qatar, as the UAE is soon to fall, as Oman, oh man, loses majority of its eastern coastline. As well as this, there are border clashes between the Raj and Iran, with the Raj making a short gain in the east. However, that is all that they will gain. Back over here to Egypt, we see the British push back the Ottoman forces all the way to their border, as They even enter a small part of Ottoman territory in order to cut the empire in two, which they do so successfully. And now the clampdown of the Ottoman Empire begins. No, it doesn't. And while we do see some support in the south, with the majority of the southern portion of Tanzania falling, we do see Nigeria actually getting pushed back in the south as more German troops arrive, and the fall of the British colony begins. However, Britain seems to be having more success in this war, especially in Africa. However, this is just the Ottoman Empire and Iran and maybe some of the Balkans. The German Empire has arrived, and things are about to go down properly. We see the British being kicked out of Ottoman territory as they re-enter the colony, quickly taking over this peninsula once again and entering into Cairo. As well as this, we see the fall of Oman and Yemen, which signifies British rule, the end of British rule in the Middle East. Oh, somehow Cyprus has survived. That didn't... Oh, there we go. And yeah, so now things begin to go downhill for the British, as Cameroon and German troops sweep through the southern portion of Nigeria, and after the south falls, they see no point in fighting and the colony surrenders. However, the British do see some gains as Tanzania surrenders, and Namibia isn't soon to follow. However, they do seem to be failing, if that makes sense. So more and more territory is captured until the colony surrenders. Yeah, no fighting is happening over here, as no one really wants to make a landing. They want to go through France again, on maybe the Netherlands, you know. But yeah, Cairo is captured by the Ottoman forces, and the north is swiftly to fall, and multiple naval landings are made along the coastline. However, at this point, the Ottoman Empire pretty much has gained what they want. They've got the Suez Canal and all the ports of Egypt, so they are willing to negotiate a peace with the British, which they kind of have to accept, to be honest. Basically, oh wait a second, there we go. Yeah, we have more British troops arrive in Africa, as this is the main area of fighting, with the last of the fighting only being up here, and it's bloody. It's not pretty at all, as no one wants to go over here because that's nothing but sand, and everyone knows it's coarse and rough and it gets everywhere, and the sea is the only option as British troops and Ottoman troops clash until the Ottoman troops win multiple battles, pretty much forcing the end of the war. And the British succumb to this, and they don't surrender. However, they are willing to meet the peace terms of I'm going to call this the Germanic Union. Northern Hemisphere Union. Yeah, the Northern Hemisphere Union. I know that sounds terrible, but I've got no idea. Anyway, let's take a look at the peace treaty now. So now, looking at this peace treaty, we can see a lot of border changes have been made, and a lot of colonies have been swapped and even granted independence. And both Germans and the British pretty much lose colonies, but overall the red team definitely has more gains. As we see the Ottoman Empire gain the most gains, we see them annex Kuwait. They also annex Egypt. However, just the north part of modern Egypt, as they don't want desert, you know. However, they also take some of Yemen. However, the Ottoman Empire does lose Djibouti and Eritrea to the British. However, the British even lose some more land, as this colony right here, which was made up of which was made of the UAE, Oman and Yemen, gains their independence, and gains independence, not made into a colony of Germany. However, it is now its own independent country. We also see Iran annex a bit of northern Kuwait. Not Kuwait. I keep messing up my countries. We see Iran annex a bit of northern UAE and Oman, and we see Qatar gain its independence. Down here in Africa, we see Namibia gain its independence from Germany. However, we do see Tanzania remain in German control. However, no border changes are made between Nigeria and Cameroon, as Nigeria gained independence from the British Empire after this war. They kind of declared it once the German occupation happened. However, good news for Britain, they gained Papua New Guinea. That's pretty much the only good news for Britain, as they lose the British Empire lost this war. They lost it. Okay. Alright, so looking at this alliance map, yeah, it basically states that Namibia has left the alliance, as has the northern part of Papua New Guinea. And yeah, however, they do gain, I'm gonna call this country South Arabia. South Arabia it is. Let me know in the comments if you want me to rename it. But yeah, that's actually, we actually go over to America for the first time, as there are multiple things going on. America goes ahead and says, what on earth is happening over here, and I don't want any part of that. So they form their own alliance with South American countries, saying only countries in America can actually join. Countries that join this are Colombia, Venezuela, Bolivia, Paraguay, and Chile. Now, Brazil didn't join this war as they are facing turmoil in their own country, and as you'll see next episode, things are about to go down over here in South America for the first time. We also see Cuba join that alliance. And now we see multiple and now one more thing. France over here basically sends out an invitation, if you will, basically stating, join my alliance if you want to be protected from Germany and the USSR, and some countries actually agree to that, being Belgium and Finland. So that was a bit of a rushed ending, but I'm actually going to end it for this episode of the Alternative Future of the World. So there's no need to recap, you've watched the video, and I'll see you next time for the next Alternative Futures episode. Bye bye.